Hey guys, now this video is a quick update on some Flywoo products. I think the most interesting one is this one. This is something I was waiting for a long time. This is finally a commercially available decent lithium ion battery pack. VTC6 cells, that's what I recommended to Flywoo. In my opinion, the best cells for lithium ion packs. 30 amps, 3000 milliamp hours, XT30 specifically for the micro long range. They are only 197 grams. It's actually pretty light for one of these. My home build are a bit heavier, so really great. One of them is, of course, they're not super cheap. They're $50, I think, something along those lines. I'll link everything below in the video description. But although they aren't cheap, finally you can at least get them and you don't have to go through the trouble of building those yourself. I mean, especially if you don't 100% know what you're doing and don't have the right tools, building these was actually even a little bit dangerous, and I think it's great that we have this option here now. And although they aren't cheap, I mean, all you need is 2 or 3 of them. One of them is half an hour of flight, so how many are you gonna carry if you're, for example, going to fly around with your micro long range, you're hiking in the mountains. I just take 2 or 3 of these packs. That's 1 hour to 1.5 hours of flying, which is more than I usually need. I just do my flying during lunch break and that's it, and I don't have to carry many batteries. So really cool that these exist. Now, the other updates. Also quite interesting for micro long range, a new 16 by 16 stack. Most interesting thing about this is the new ESC. So this is a 35 amp 16 by 16. So for anybody who did have trust issues with the 13 amp, although I do not think they were justified and never burned a single one. As long as you're not running motors that are too high kV, you're not going to run into issues with the 13 amp. But if you have trust issues, man, this one is 6S and 35 amps. This is way overkill for micro long range, so you're going to have a lot of peace of mind with this one. Other advantages, you can now use 3800 or 3750 kV motors on a micro long range without any issues if you want more power. Because the main reason people burned their 16 by 16 was they were running 3800 kV motors on 4S, and the micro long range was designed to run those motors on 3S. So now you can do that if you want more power. This is a 16 by 16 stack you can go for. The FC is just a slight update. I mean, this now does have the motor pads are exposed for the motors, so if you want to soft serial something, it's already preset up, and you can use 2 of the motor pads here to have your third soft serial UART. Now, I hope that they will soon come up with a solution to have more UARTs on a 16 by 16. I still believe that this is a good solution for micro long range. Quads apart, these unfortunate glitches in the DJI OSD that were caused by software issues with soft serial and beta flight in 4.2. 4.1 is fine, but slight update of this stack. But I mean, that's not the most interesting part. Again, what's very interesting in terms of electronics is this one. Now, it seems, I don't know what on earth happened with these all-in-ones. Now, we started with 5 amps, then we got 12 amps, and we were totally stoked, and now we can build 3-inch toothpicks on 3 or 4S, and are totally crazy, and 12 amps, wow. Then we got 20 amps, and we started building the first 5-inch toothpicks, and nobody could believe that these boards actually handled 20 amps. And now we are at 45 amps 6S on this. And there's even one from iFlight, I think, that's got 55. So this is just getting insane. And I think this will sooner or later replace many of the 20 by 20 or 30 by 30 formats we have, because it's just such a clean and simple solution to have this one single board. Now, we did have, if you remember, we did have 35 amp all-in-ones for a long time. There were these racer stars, and whenever I forgot how it's called, but we had those, but they weren't very reliable. Main issue with this is it has to be 100% reliable, because it's super annoying. If NEC burns out on this one, you can basically rebuild your entire quad. rewire everything, everything is just gone. That's super annoying. So if they are reliable, this is a very nice, elegant solution. If they aren't, that's a problem. But I mean, this one, assuming it's reliable, does have everything you need. It's got 6 accessible UARTs. The 7th UART is for the ESC telemetry and current sensor. Here's a current sensor. It's got LEDs to look nice. You can program these. I mean, I think these LEDs on the board, the Flywoo puts there, these are really cool. I never really appreciated these previously. Let me zoom in on this one, but I just started to really like them. You can program them in Betaflight. And they are really quite powerful. So these LEDs are actually quite cool. Now you have these LEDs, you have 35 amps. And what I'm honestly hoping for is that this board, combined with these motors here, Brother Hobby 2004 1950 kV, and a Beta FPV toothpick, 5-inch toothpick, that's the X-Night, will hopefully prove me wrong in terms of 5-inch toothpicks, because if you remember a few months ago, basically it was almost a year ago, I concluded that 5-inch toothpicks don't make much sense, because basically either it's not sub 250, which then, you know, makes it kind of pointless to go for something very light. You might as well use a normal 5-inch, or it doesn't handle very well. Now, I really hope that these motors that I know with the new Gemfan light 5-inch props, the 51, I don't really remember, 5125 or something they're called, or 24, the light 5-inch T-mount props with these motors perform very well on 6S. And I'm really hoping that this will prove me wrong. I'll finally find a 5-inch toothpick that I like. So I'm gonna build this one here. I honestly, I know I designed a 5-inch toothpick, the Gathunter X, but well, I sold all of the frames. I thought I didn't need them, and that I don't really like these toothpicks. So basically, I don't have any one of them anymore, so I'm just not gonna bother to have one cut. I'm just gonna go for this Beta FPV frame, along with the 600 milliwatt VTX here from Flywoo that comes with the stack. This will perfectly fit on this board here, so I can stack this up nicely, put a Runcam Nano 3 on top, and I'm really hoping this will prove me wrong and end up in a nicely handling sub 250 5-inch toothpick that does perform great. So don't forget to subscribe, stay tuned on the 5-inch toothpick here, and let's see how it performs. Thanks for watching, guys.